Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, April 8th, 2021. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's baseball, basketball, and hockey games and look ahead to today's games in each sport. We will go over the tee times for the Masters and any early results aka the leaderboard. My latest NFL mock draft, I haven't done one in about a month and a half because of March Madness and all that. News and notes, Masked Singer, recap from last night. Interesting episode, by the way. And my best bet of the day. We're going to start with baseball. We will go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to today's games. So without further ado, here we go. Braves over the Nationals 7-6 in game one of a doubleheader. Braves 1-4, Nats 1-1. Josh Tomlin the win, Eric Feed the loss, Will Smith the save. Trey Turner went deep in this game for Washington. Max Fried 2 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Tomlin in relief 2 innings, no hits, no runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Eric Feed, an inning and 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, and a strikeout. Reds over the Pirates 11-4. The Reds are 5-1. Pittsburgh's 1-5. Luis Castillo to win. Chad Cole the loss. Tyler Naquin, Nicholas Castellanos, and Arquides Aquino each homer for the Reds. And then Eric Gonzalez hit a garbage time grand slam in the top of the ninth for Pittsburgh. Castillo, 7 innings, 4 hits, and no earned runs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. ERA of 6.97. Cole, 4 innings, 2 hits, 4 runs, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. ERA is 6.43. Indians over the Royals 4-2. The Indians are 2-3. Casey's 3-2. Getting the win for Cleveland was Emmanuel Clase. The loss, Greg Holland the save. Nick Wickren. Home runs in this game, Salvador Perez, Jose Ramirez, and Ramirez again. Shane Bieber, 6 in the third innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 12 strikeouts, ERA 3.65. Jacob Junis, 5 innings, 1 hit, no one runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 0 ERA. Twins over the Tigers 3-2. The Twins are 4-2, the Tigers are 3-3. Kenta Maeda to win, Matt Boyd, the loss, Alex Colom to save. Wilson Ramos homered in this game for the Tigers. Maeda 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts, ERA 2.61. Boyd 7 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA 2.13. Orioles over the Yankees 4-3 in 11 innings. The Orioles are 4-2, the Yankees are 3-3. Getting the win for the Orioles was Cesar Valdez, the loss, Chad Green, the save, Paul Fry. Cedric Mullins and Anthony Santander hit home runs in the 4th inning for the Orioles. John Means was okay. 4 2/3 innings, 7 hits, and a run, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. ERA of .77. Jamison Tyon, 4 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts. ERA 3.86. The Red Sox over the Rays 9-2. The Red Sox are 3-3. Tampa's 2-4. So the Red Sox sweep the Rays. Nathan Eovaldi the win. Ryan Yarbrough the loss. Christian Vasquez homer in this game for Boston. Needy Eovaldi 7 innings, 3 hits, and a run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. ERA 1.46. Ryan Yarbrough 5 innings, 9 hits, 6 runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. ERA 5.06. Rangers over the Blue Jays 2-1. The Rangers are 3-3. So is Toronto. Kyle Gibson win, Hyunjin, Ryu the loss, and Kennedy to save. Nick Solak and Marcus Semien each homered for their respective teams. Semien has like 3 homers on the year now in 6 games. Kyle Gibson, 6 innings, 6 hits, no runs, a walk, 8 strikeouts, ERA of 7.11. Hyunjin Ryu, 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, no walk, 7 strikeouts, ERA 2.92. Brewers over the Cubs 4-2 and 10. The Brewers are 3-3, so are the Cubs. Josh Hader to win, Brendan Wickwork in the loss, and Brad Boxberg to the save. Lorenzo Cain homered twice, including in the top of the 10th, which proved to be the go-ahead shot. Alrighty. Brendan Woodruff, 7 innings, a hit, no one runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA 2.45. Hendrick, 6 innings, 4 hits, no one runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts, ERA of 3. The A's over the Dodgers, 4-3-10, as the A's get their first win of the year on a walk-off RBI single by Mitch Moreland. Oakland's 1-6. Dodgers are 5-2. Yasmario Petit the win, and Jimmy Nelson the loss. Home runs in this game, Matt Chapman, and that's it. Jesus Luzardo, 5 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts. ERA of 6.1. Trevor Bauer, 6 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 10 strikeouts. ERA 4.15. Braves over the Nationals, 2-0 in 7 innings. The Braves 2-4, Washington 1-2, so the Braves sweep the Nationals. Luke Jackson win, Tanner Rainey the loss, and Sean Newcomb the save. Pablo Sandoval hit a home run in the game. Pinch hit shot. Second pinch hit homer of the year, by the way, for Sandoval. Oscar Yanoa, 5 innings, 2 hits, no one runs, a walk, 5 strikeouts, ERA of 0. Steven Strasburg, 6 innings, a hit, no one runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA of 0. Phillies over the Mets, 8-2. The Phillies are 5-1. The Mets are 1-2. Getting the win for Philly, Connor Brogdon, 3 wins already out of the bullpen. And David Peterson the loss. Rhys Hoskins, Alec Boehm, JT Realmuto, all homered in this game for Philadelphia. Aaron Nola, 46 hits and a run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 2.53. 92 pitches. David Peterson, 47 hits, 6 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 13.5. Mariners over the White Sox, 8-4. The Mariners 3-3. Chicago's 3-4. Getting the win for Seattle was Will Vest, and the loss for Chicago was Matt Foster. No home runs in this game, ironically enough. Justin Dunn, 4 2/3, a hit, 3 runs, 8 walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 5.79. Dallas Keuchel, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA of 7. Giants over the Padres, 3-2-10. The Giants are 3-3, so they lost 4-3. Jake McGee to win. Tim Hill the loss, and Willie Peralta the save. Darren Ruff and Will Myers homered for their respective teams. Kevin Gossman, 7 innings, 4 hits, and a run, a walk, 5 strikeouts, ERA 1.32. Blake Snell, 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA 1.86. Cardinals over the Marlins, 7-0. The Cardinals 4-2. The Marlins 1-5. Jack Flaherty to win. Pablo Lopez the loss. Yadier Molina homered, and Dylan Carlson also homered. He hit a grand slam. Jack Flaherty, 6 innings, a hit, no one runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 5.23. Pablo Lopez, 6 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 1.54. Rockies over the Diamondbacks, 8-0. The Rockies are 2-4. The Diamondbacks are also 2-4. Antonio Sensatello the win, Madison Bumgarner the loss. No homers in this game, ironically enough. Sensatello, 8 innings, 4 hits, no one runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 5.56. Bumgarner, 5 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, ERA of 11. Right now we'll look ahead to today's window of games. Not as big as normal. 1 o'clock you have the Marlins and the Mets from Citi Field, so the Mets home opener will be today, coming off a series loss to the Phillies. The pitching matchup in this game, Taijuan Walker, and we don't know for Miami, the numbers aren't out yet. But I will probably bet over the total because Taijuan Walker is such an unknown. The Met bullpen hasn't been good yet. Marlins bullpen, no good either. So whatever the total is, if it's 8.5, 9.5, I'll take the over. 1:30 of the Cubs and the Pirates. Jake Arrieta and Tyler Anderson. The Cubs are minus 148. The Pirates are plus 126. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Cubs minus 1.5 is plus 114. Pirates plus 1.5 is minus 137. These two teams obviously met last weekend, and they meet again. This is a hard call. I'm going to go over 8.5 at minus 105. I don't think Arrieta will be as good as he was the other day. And I don't like Tyler Anderson, so over 8.5 at minus 105. 3 o'clock, Red Sox, Orioles from Camden Yards. So these two teams meet again. Eduardo Rodriguez and Matt Harvey. Red Sox are minus 166. Orioles are plus 140. Over under 9. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. Red Sox minus 1.5 is plus 105. Orioles plus 1.5 is minus 126. I'm going to go with another over at minus 104. Maybe I parlay the over in the Orioles. Matt Harvey wasn't bad in his first start. But a sweep of the Rays makes the Red Sox this great team. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm going to go with the over just to play it safe at minus 104. Diamondbacks, Rockies, Merrill Kelly, and John Gray. Rockies are minus 124. The Diamondbacks are plus 106. Over under 11.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Diamondbacks plus 1.5 is minus 178. Rockies minus 1.5 is plus 146. John Gray pitched well in his first start. I'm going to go Rockies first half. Or first 5 innings at minus 118. I don't love it, but I don't trust the Rockies bullpen enough to close out the game. So we go Rockies first half at minus 118. 4 o'clock, you have the Royals and the White Sox. Brad Keller and Lance Lynn. White Sox minus 158. Keller's plus 134. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Royals plus 1.5 is minus 154. White Sox minus 1.5 is plus 128. Brad Keller stunk at his first start against the Rangers. Lance Lynn wasn't great in his first start. Actually, no, I'm thinking of Dallas Keuchel, not Lance Lynn. No, Lance Lynn's ERA is 0, so he was great. This is a tough one. I'm going to go over 8.5 at minus 102. The case is that the White Sox see Brad Keller all the time, same division. They know him. I could see the Royals giving up a ton of runs. I could see this being 6-3 White Sox. We'll go over 8.5 at minus 102. Mariners, Twins, Marco Gonzalez and Jose Barrios. Twins are minus 196. The Mariners are plus 164. Over under 8. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Mariners plus 1.5 is minus 134. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 112. This is a hard one. I'm going to go with the Twins on the run line, minus 1.5 and plus 112. The case is that they're just better than the Mariners, and their offense will continue to mash. And I don't see a point where this game is really all that close. So give me the Twins minus 1.5 is plus 112. 4:15, the Brewers and the Cardinals. Corbin Burns and Adam Wainwright. Brewers are minus 134. The Cardinals are plus 114. Over under 8. Overs minus 108. Unders minus 112. The Brewers minus 1.5 is plus 130. Cardinals plus 1.5 is minus 156. I don't get the obsession with the Brewers. I just don't get it. I know Woodruff and Burns have been good to start the season. Burns has an ERA of 1.42. Woodruff's been outstanding. I know Wainwright stunk in his first game. I'm taking the Cardinals straight up, though. The case is that their offense will continue its success. Corbin Burns will regress a little bit, and then you'll see positive regression from Adam Wainwright. So I'm going to go Cardinals plus 114 against the Brewers. 7 o'clock, you have the Angels and the Blue Jays from Florida, from the great city of Dunedin. It's Griffin Canning and Ross Stripling. Blue Jays are minus 124. Angels are plus 106. Over under 10. Angels plus 1.5 is minus 192. Blue Jays minus 1.5 is plus 158. I'm going to go Blue Jays. Ooh, this is hard. Blue Jays first half, I kind of like it. Minus 118. Ross Stripling wasn't bad against the Yankees. He just faltered a little bit there. I like him to pitch well again. So I'm going to go Blue Jays first half minus 118 against the Angels. And I like Griffin Canning a lot. This is his first start of the year, so it's a little bit of an unknown. At 8 o'clock, you have the Athletics and the Astros. You have Christian Javier and Cole Irvin. Irvin stunk in his first start. Javier wasn't great, but he wasn't bad either. Astros are minus 164. A's are plus 138. Over under 9.5. Over and under H minus 110. A's plus 1.5 is minus 146. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 122. I'm going to go over 9.5. Obviously, these two teams meet again. They met opening weekend. The case for the over is that Oakland's offense found a little bit of life against the Dodgers, and the Astros will continue to match against the A's pitching. So I'm going to go over 9.5 at minus 110. So there you have it for Major League Baseball today. Next stop is the NBA, as we will go over what was a busy window from last night, and we will look ahead to a solid window for tonight. Pacers over the Timberwolves, 141-137. I thought long and hard about that for best bet. That turned out to be a shootout and a sweat. Indiana 23-27, Minnesota 13-39. Aaron Holiday had 22 points. And by the way, neither Sabonis or Brogdon played. And they still won. Karl Anthony Towns had 32 and 12 boards. Wizards over the Magic, 131-116. The Wizards are 18-32. Orlando 17-34. Bradley Beal had 26 points. Terrence Ross had 24. Celtics over the Knicks, 101-99. This was one of the overnights from 2 nights ago that I got wrong. Boston 26-26. New York 25-27. Jaylen Brown had 32 points and 10 boards. RJ Barrett had 29 to lead the Knicks. Nets over the Pelicans, 139-111. This was another one I got wrong because I did overnights 2 nights ago. Brooklyn 36-16. New Orleans 22-29. Kyrie Irving actually led the Nets in scoring with 24 points. Eric Bledsoe had 26 for New Orleans. Grizzlies over the Hawks, 131-113. This was one of the picks I got right. Memphis 26-23. Atlanta 27-25. Grayson Allen 30 points for Memphis. Bogdan Bogdanovic had 24 for Memphis. Rockets over the Mavs, 102-93. This is one I got way wrong. Houston 14-37. Dallas 28-22. John Wall came back. He had 31 and 7 assists. And both stars for Dallas played in this game. Kristaps Porzingis led them in scoring with 23 and 12. Hornets over the Thunder, 113-102. The Hornets are 26-24. OKC 20-31. Jalen McDaniels had 21 points for Charlotte, and Alexa Pakasevi, 25 for OKC. Nuggets over the Spurs, 106-96. Denver 33-18. San Antonio 24-25. Nikola Jokic had 25 points for Denver and 10 assists. DeJounte Murray had 18 points and 6 assists. And what was the best game of the night in the nightcap on ESPN, the Suns over the Jazz, 117-113 in overtime. Phoenix 36-14, Utah 38-13. Devin Booker 35 points. Donovan Mitchell 41 points. Looking ahead to tonight's window, 7:30 on TNT, you have the Lakers and the Heat. My projection here is Miami 5.5, total 215. No LeBron and no AD, obviously, and the line is Miami 8.5, total 204. I like the over. The case for the over is that the Lakers' defense without those guys stink. Their offense stinks without them too, but not as much as their defense stinking. And I think that Miami's offense, like I said, will put up a number. Miami's defense is good. But, I could see a world where Kyle Kuzma had some garbage time threes. So I'm going to go over 204 between the Lakers and the Heat. Next up is the Bulls and the Raptors. I'm at Bulls 8, total 225. Meanwhile, it's Bulls 3.5. I'm laying the 3.5 with the Bulls. 8 o'clock, Cavs Thunder. I'm at Cavs 2, total 216.5. Meanwhile, 3.5 and 213.5. I'm taking the over. The case is that the Cavaliers defense and the Thunder defense both stink. 9 o'clock, the Bucks and the Mavs. I'm at Bucks 3, total 226.5. Meanwhile, it's Bucks 1.5. We don't have a total yet. I think Giannis will play because if Giannis didn't play, the Bucks obviously would have been an underdog here. We don't have a total yet. If it's 228, or I'm sorry, better or higher than 228, I'm taking the under, and if it's lower than 225, I'm taking the over. 10 o'clock, the Trailblazers and the Jazz. Utah 9.5, total 227.5 is my projection. Meanwhile, it's 7 and 231. Bounce back spot for Utah, potentially. Total's pretty high. I'm going to go under. I like the Jazz's defense a lot. Yeah, I faltered last night in the Suns game. But I like him to bounce back here, so I'm going to go under 231. TNT, Suns Clippers. I'm at Suns 1.5, total 222.5. Meanwhile, it's Clippers 5, total 224. I love the Suns here. I get it. This could be a letdown spot for sure. But worst case scenario, Clippers win, Suns cover. So give me the Suns plus 5. And the Pistons and the Kings. I'm at Sacramento 11.5, total 226. No Jeremy Grant. And it's Sacramento 6.5, total 227. I'm laying the 6.5 of Sacramento. No Jeremy Grant for the Pistons tonight. And he's pretty much what keeps them a little bit competitive in these games. So I'm laying the 6.5 of Sacramento against the Pistons for tonight. So there you have it for NBA for tonight. Now I'll move on to the NHL. We'll go over what was a shorter slate from last night and look ahead to what's going to be a busy window for tonight. So without further ado, here we go. Oilers over the Senators 4-2. Edmonton 24-14-2. Ottawa 13-23-4. The number 3 started game with the goal, Connor Brown. The number 2 started game with a goal and 3 assists, Connor McDavid. And the number 1 started game with 3 goals and an assist, Leon Draisaitl. The Maple Leafs over the Canadiens 3-2. The Maple Leafs 27-10-3. Montreal 17-10-9. The number 3 started game with the goal and assist, Austin Matthews. Number 2 started game with the goal and assist, Zach Hyman. And the number 1 star of the game, 32 saves on 34 shots, Jack Campbell. Blues over the Golden Knights 3-1. I think I picked the under in this game, but I didn't really think the Blues would come out on top. But finally, the Blues come through a little bit. 17-16-6. Vegas 25-11-2. The number 3 star of the game with the goal, Jake Wallman. The number 2 star of the game with the goal, Vladimir Tarasenko. And the number 1 star of the game with 50 saves on 51 shots, Jordan Binghamton. Wild over the Avalanche 8-3. I loved the Wild yesterday. And that was my underdog money line, and it came through. Wilder 24-12-2. Colorado 26-9-4. The number 3 started the game with 2 goals and an assist, Kirill Kaprizov, number 2, started the game with 3 assists. Jared Bergeron, and the number 1 started the game with a hat trick and an assist, Kevin Fiala. Kings over the Coyotes 4-3. What did I tell you? The Coyotes are an overteam. Best bet comes through. Kings 15-17-6. Arizona 19-16-5. The number 3 started the game with an assist, Blake Lizette. The number 2 started the game, didn't have a point but played great, Anze Kopitar. And the number 1 started the game with 2 assists, Drew Doughty. All right, looking ahead to tonight's games. At 7 o'clock, you have the Penguins and the Rangers again from Madison Square Garden. The Rangers are minus 126, so they're favored again. Pittsburgh's plus 108, over under 6.5, overs plus 104, the unders minus 128. Pittsburgh plus 1.5 is minus 245. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 196. I'm going to go over at plus money here. Pittsburgh in the over is enticing, but Pittsburgh has lost a couple games recently and hasn't looked all that great. Well, the Rangers tend to have these kick-ass offensive games against Pennsylvania teams. We saw 2 of them against the Flyers and 1 last night against Pittsburgh. I'm going to go over 6.5 and plus 104 between the Penguins and the Rangers. I think there's a lot of goals in that game. Devils Sabres. The Devils are minus 134. Buffalo's plus 114. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 102. Under is minus 120. Devils minus 1.5 is plus 198. Buffalo plus 1.5 is minus 245. I'm taking the Sabres plus 114 straight up. The Devils just traded away Kyle Palmieri. Their offense won't be the same. Taking Buffalo plus 114 against the Devils. Flyers Islanders. The Islanders are minus 186. That's incredible. The Flyers are plus 156. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. The Flyers plus 1.5 is minus 182. The Islanders minus 1.5 is plus 150. This is wild. I think the Flyers are better than the record indicates. They're tied with the Rangers in the standings at the moment. I think the Rangers can pass them tonight here with the win and a loss for Philly. But the Flyers at above plus 150 is enticing. So I'm going to grab the Flyers plus 156 against the Islanders. The Bruins and the Capitals. This is another big one. The Bruins are even money. The Caps are minus 118. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. The Bruins plus 1.5 is minus 265. The Capitals minus 1.5 is plus 215. I'm going to go under 5.5 at minus 104. I don't love it. I think Vitek Vanecek will play for Washington. And Boston's goaltending's been solid. I think this is a 3-2 game either way. So I'm going to go under 5.5 at minus 104. Panthers, Hurricanes. The Canes are minus 158. The Panthers are plus 134. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 140. Unders plus 112. The Panthers plus 1.5 is minus 205. The Hurricanes minus 1.5 is plus 168. The Hurricanes are playing great. Panthers still ahead of them in the standings. And I'd like them to win tonight as a dog at plus 150 or plus 134. The case is that it's a bounce back spot for Florida. So I'm going to go Panthers plus 134 against Carolina. The Bolts and the Blue Jackets. The Bolts are minus 215. The Jackets are plus 180. Over under 5.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 132. The Lightning minus 1.5 is plus 128. The Blue Jackets plus 1.5 is minus 154. This is a hard one, guys. I think that this could be a bounce back spot for the Bolts. I'm going to be contrarian here and take the over. Columbus's goalies have been great at times this year, but I think this could be an empty net goal decides it kind of game 4-2 either way. So I'm going to go over 5.5 at even money. The Oilers and the Senators. The Oilers are minus 198. The Sens are plus 166. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 108. Unders minus 112. The Oilers minus 1.5 is plus 128. The Sens plus 1.5 is minus 154. I'm going to go under again. The last game between these two went under. I think this is another under. I think this is another 4-2 game. So I'm going to go under 6.5 at minus 112. 7:30 of the Predators and the Red Wings. The Preds are minus 164. The Red Wings are plus 138. Over under 5.5. Over is minus 118. Under is minus 144. Or I should say the over is plus 118. The Preds minus 1.5 is plus 184. The Red Wings plus 1.5 is minus 225. The Predators have been playing a lot better of late. Fourth place in the division, 2 points ahead of the Blackhawks for the last playoff spot in the Central Division. I'm going to take them to win in regulation at minus 105. I think that this should be an easy victory for them. They're much better than the Red Wings. A lot more talent than the Red Wings. So I'm going to take a minus 105 to win this in 60 minutes. And last but not least, 8 o'clock, the Stars and the Blackhawks. The Stars are minus 120. The Blackhawks are plus 102. Over under 5.5. Over is minus 104. Under is minus 118. The Stars minus 1.5 is plus 240. The Blackhawks plus 1.5 is minus 300. I'm going to go with the Hawks again. The Blackhawks have done me good as an underdog. I know I bet them against the Stars one time and it didn't work out. And I gave them out on the show the other day and it worked out. And I'm giving them out again here tonight at plus 102 as a dog at home against the Dallas Stars. Obviously, Canucks Flames is postponed. We don't know when the Canucks will return to action. So there you have it for the NHL. Now we will look at the current leaderboard at the Masters. I know it's early and things won't stand the way they are right now. So I'm going to take a look at the leaderboard and I'm going to read off some notable tee times. Your very early leader, an hour in, at 1 under, is Hudson Swafford. Tied for second at even, Michael Thompson, Matt Jones, Sandy Lyle, Stuart Kink, and Jim Herman. Seventh place at 1 over, Ian Woodsam, and in eighth with 2 over, Dylan Fratelli. Notable tee times. 8:48, 9 o'clock, Ian Poulter, Brendan Todd. 9:12, Charles Schwartzel, Chris Connors, Siwoo Kim. Corey Connors. 9:24, Kevin Kisner, Joaquin Neiman. 9:36, Jason Day, Cam Champ, and Matt Wolf. 9:48, Harry English, Hideki Matsuyama, and Abraham Ancer. 10:06, Bubba Watson, Victor Hovland, and Brooks Koepka. 10:18, Webb Simpson, Sergio Garcia, and Christian Zeidenhout. 10:30 is Lee Westwood and Dustin Johnson. 10:42, Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele, and John Rahm. 10:54, Patrick Reed, Paul Casey, and Daniel Berger. 11:30 is Mackenzie Hughes. 11:42 is C.T. Pond. 12:12 is Victor Perez, Jason Kokrak, and Mark Leishman. 12:36 is Zach Johnson, Gary Woodland, and Kevin Na. 12:48 is Justin Rose and Shane Lowry. 1 o'clock is Tyrell Hatton, Billy Horschel, and Ryan Palmer. 1:12, Scotty Scheffler, Tommy Fleetwood, and Phil Mickelson. 1:24, Sungjae Im, Patrick Cantlay, and Matthew Fitzpatrick. 1:36, Adam Scott and Bryson DeChambeau. 1:48, Justin Thomas, Tony Finau, and Lewis Olson. 2 o'clock, Jordan Spieth, Colin Morikawa, and Cam Smith. All right, so we'll obviously have another fresh leaderboard on tomorrow's show. So that should be a lot of fun to see where everybody is at. All right, Now I'm going to do my latest NFL mock draft. I have not done one of these in a while. It's been a month and a half because I was really focusing in a lot on March Madness. A lot has changed. Some trades happened. So, without further ado, here we go. Number 1, Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, Clemson. If there wasn't any doubt, Lawrence is perhaps the best quarterback prospect to come out since Peyton Manning, and there's no chance that the Jaguars, with Urban Meyer now in town, entertain offers for this pick, let alone consider another player with this pick. Lawrence will certainly be someone who will make his teammates better, but the Jags still have other holes to fill on this roster. 2, New York Jets, Zach Wilson, quarterback, BYU. With the trading of Sam Darnold and supposedly turning down offers for the number 2 pick, all signs are pointing to the Jets taking a quarterback with this selection. Wilson is the hot name thrown around for this selection, and Vegas even believes so with the strong odds they have. That said, this feels like the second most surest bet of the entire draft. 3, San Francisco 49ers from the Houston Texans via the Miami Dolphins. Mac Jones, quarterback, Alabama. With the 49ers moving up to the 3rd spot, all signs point towards them picking a quarterback that will eventually replace Jimmy Garoppolo in the long run. The guy that is the perceived target is Mac Jones, whose stock is absolutely rising with a few weeks ago until the draft, as many people have apparently told ESPN's Adam Schefter that the Mac will be the guy. 4, Atlanta Falcons, Kyle Pitts, tight end, Florida. The Falcons are a super obvious trade-down candidate and could potentially get Pitts at the spot they may end up at. Pitts is someone that has been a monster in college the past few seasons and is the best tight end to come out maybe since Rob Gronkowski. He would really help extend Matt Ryan's career and will make the Falcons' offense better. 5, Cincinnati Bengals, Penny Sewell, offensive tackle, Oregon. This would be a tremendous selection for the Bengals, who desperately need help on their offensive line. I know Joe Burrow would love the team to select his former teammate Jamar Chase to be his top wideout, but the bigger need lies on the line to help protect Burrow from getting injured again. 6, Miami Dolphins from the Philadelphia Eagles. Jamar Chase, wide receiver, LSU. My last mock draft that I did, I thought the Dolphins were the front runner to trade for Houston's Deshaun Watson, but with Watson's off-court issues taking center stage, the trade rumors have died. It looks like the team is sticking with Tua Tagovailoa for the time being, and getting him a top wideout in his former SEC opponent in Chase would do him wonders. 7, Detroit Lions. Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State. Yes, the Lions acquired Jared Goff in the Matthew Stafford trade, but that shouldn't prevent them from snagging a quarterback with this selection. Fields has a ton of upside, but wasn't consistent in the shortened Big Ten season last year. I would not be surprised if Goff ends up being traded within the next year due to the fact that the Lions are in a rebuild. 8, the Carolina Panthers. Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle, Northwestern. With the acquisition of Sam Darnold, it looks like the Panthers are out of the quarterback derby. Slater has a chance to be a franchise tackle that the Panthers have lacked for some time now, and what Darnold did not have with the Jets. 9, Denver Broncos. Trey Lance, quarterback, North Dakota State. The Broncos have apparently sniffed around the quarterback market and don't seem thrilled with Drew Lock. Enter Lance, who many folks have not watched due to him playing FCS football, who has shown some tremendous upside in college and helped lead the Buys in the big things. 10, Dallas Cowboys. Patrick Surtain III, cornerback, Alabama. The Cowboys should go defense with this selection, as they have needs in the secondary and in the pass rush. Surtain is someone that has been linked to the Cowboys for some time now, and he would instantly become their number 1 corner as they finally replace Byron Jones. 11, New York Giants. Devontae Smith, wide receiver, Alabama. The goal of the Giants offseason is to help surround Daniel Jones with the proper talent to help him succeed in the league, and also be sure if he will be their franchise guy going forward. Selecting the reigning Heisman winner in Smith here would fulfill that goal even further, as he would become another big weapon to go with Kenny Golladay in that Giants offense. 12, Philadelphia Eagles from the Miami Dolphins via the San Francisco 49ers. Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, Alabama. The Eagles are handing the reins to Jalen Hurts after the trading of Carson Wentz. Selecting Hurts' former teammate in Waddle would give Hurts a much-needed top option after getting rid of Alshon Jeffrey. 13, the Los Angeles Chargers. Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle, Virginia Tech. The Chargers have some options with this selection, and their biggest need is at the tackle position. Insert Darrisaw, who I think would be a solid pick to help protect Justin Herbert. 14, Minnesota Vikings. Gene Phillips, defensive end, Miami. This pick would make a ton of sense for the Vikings, who want to remake their defensive back to what it was a few seasons ago. Phillips is arguably the most consistent edge rusher in the draft, and if there was not some versatility issues here, maybe Phillips would have been projected to go higher than this. 15, New England Patriots. Micah Parsons, linebacker, Penn State. If Parsons did not opt out this season, he would have been a projected top 10 or even top 5 pick. Parsons is somebody that is super versatile and would fit very nicely in Bill Belichick's defense as they land the steal here. 16, the Arizona Cardinals. Elijah Vera Tucker, guard, USC. The Cardinals have some choices here, but they go with Vera Tucker to help protect Kyler Murray. Vera Tucker will vastly improve this offensive line with his athleticism and versatility. 17, the Las Vegas Raiders. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, linebacker, Notre Dame. This would be a solid selection for John Gruden and company as they select the position of need pick with Owusu-Koramoah. He will provide exactly what new defensive coordinator Gus Bradley would like: speed, athleticism, and coverability. 18, Miami Dolphins. Kwity Paye, defensive end, Michigan. Snagging Paye with this pick could end up being a steal for the Dolphins. Paye is somebody that was always steady under Jim Harbaugh in college, and he will certainly come in and help the Dolphins pass rush perhaps right away. 19, the Washington Professional Football Team. Alex Leatherwood, offensive tackle, Alabama. Washington has some options here, and I think a trade down could be in play here as well. Leatherwood would be a solid pick here as he can come in and be a solid starter from the get-go and would finally have a good tackle since Trent Williams. 20, Chicago Bears. Greg Newsome III, cornerback, Northwestern. The Bears now have a hole at the cornerback position with the release of Kyle Fuller. Newsome is a great talent, and he could be an impact starter immediately. 21, the Indianapolis Colts. Tevin Jenkins, offensive tackle, Oklahoma State. Jenkins is one of the fastest risers as the draft is a few weeks away. One of the Colts' weaknesses lies on the offensive line with the retirement of Anthony Costanzo, and Jenkins can come in and have an impact with his framework and balance. 22, Tennessee Titans. Caleb Farley, cornerback, Virginia Tech. Farley is someone whose stock has dropped since I last did a mock draft, as mocks have had him projected in the top 10. With the free agent loss of Adoree Jackson, Farley would be a solid replacement. 23, the New York Jets from the Seattle Seahawks. Azeez Ojulari, defensive end, outside linebacker, Georgia. This would be a tremendous selection for the Jets as they come away with a potential building block. Ojulari would fit nicely with Carl Lawson on new coach Robert Saleh's defense. 24, Pittsburgh Steelers. Jason Away, defensive end, outside linebacker, Penn State. The Steelers have some choices here, but here I have them taking the in-state edge rusher in Away. He provides versatility that the team lacks and would help replace the free agent loss of Bud Dupree. 25, the Jacksonville Jaguars from the Los Angeles Rams. Trayvon Moehrig, safety, TCU. The Jaguars can go offense here to help out Trevor Lawrence or defense to add yet another young building block to that unit. And here I choose the latter. Moehrig is a very solid and clean player that would help improve a weak secondary in Jacksonville. 26, the Cleveland Browns. Jamin Davis, linebacker, Kentucky. The Browns can go in a numerous number of directions with this pick, and here I have them taking the rising prospect in Davis. He really impressed in his pro day with his performance and would fill a need for the Browns as well. 27, the Baltimore Ravens. Elijah Moore, wide receiver, Purdue. The Ravens signing of Sammy Watkins should not prevent the team from taking another offensive weapon for Lamar Jackson with this pick. Moore is someone who doesn't get the attention of Chase, Smith, or Waddle, but has some serious potential to be a top wideout. 28, the New Orleans Saints. Asante Samuel Jr., cornerback, Florida State. Samuel is another prospect that is rising up mock drafts of late. The Saints can use another corner to go with opposite of Marshawn Lattimore, and Samuel is someone that has the speed and can make plays on the ball. 29, Green Bay Packers, Landon Dickerson, center, Alabama. The Packers go with a position of need in Dickerson, who would replace the departed Corey Linsley. An ACL injury might keep him off the board or on the board in the first round, but word on the street is that the recovery is going well. 30, Buffalo Bills, Tyson Campbell, cornerback, Georgia. The Bills can go in a number of directions here, but here I have them going with Campbell. He is super solid and would be a nice fit opposite Trey White to help the Bills in the secondary. 31, the Kansas City Chiefs, Christian Barmore, defensive tackle, Alabama. The Chiefs would get a potential steal here with Barmore, who is projected as high as 10th to Dallas in some mock drafts. Barmore would be great next to Chris Jones on that defensive line. 32, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Travis Etienne, running back, Clemson. The Buccaneers really don't have much needs, and the theme of the offseason was bringing the band back together. Etienne would be a solid fit here due to his explosiveness on the field, and with Sean McCoy getting older and Leonard Fournette being injury-prone to some degree, this would be a really nice selection for Tampa Bay. All right, that was it for my mock draft. Now I'm going to do the latest news and notes. Not much today. Just a couple of things, including a big college basketball coaching change. Arizona has fired Sean Miller. We know this is reasons off the court for sure. Whomever's going to come in and replace Sean Miller is going to be dealt a great hand as Arizona has a chance to be a preseason top 25 team again and has a lot of potential to bounce back after what was a dismal year a year ago with the scansions and all that crap. So Sean Miller's gone. I think that associate head coach Jack Murphy is in play for this job. He's currently the interim head coach. He was the associate for 2 years, and he was the head coach at Northern Arizona for several years as well. Jason Terry, the former NBA guard, the Jet, is on the staff. So is Danny Peters. I think they'll get looks. And in terms of potential replacements, I think that Nevada's Steve Alford could be in play for this job. I think that Oregon State Beavers head coach Wayne Tinkle will be in play for this job, and he could be the Chris Beard where he could just stay in conference. Another guy that I think could be in play here is SMU's Tim Jankovic. I think that Eastern, or no, I'm sorry. I almost said Shantae Legans, but he went to Portland, so I doubt that. I think that Oral Roberts coach Paul Mills could be in play for this job. Maybe Josh Pastner at Georgia Tech might get a look. I doubt they'll hire somebody from the Power 5, but if it's anybody, I could see it being Pastner. I could see it being Tinkle. I could see it being Rutgers' Steve Peichel. There's a couple other guys that stand out. I think there could be highly regarded assistants in play here. So we shall see. It's an interesting job. And now there's rumors that Sean Miller will likely become an NBA assistant coach as the team was interested in the offseason. So we'll see where he lands or whose staff he lands on. There's a couple NBA coaches I could see him teaming up with, like Chicago's Billy Donovan, I think would be a great add to that staff. That's just the one that sticks out to me. Boston's is Brad Stevens, maybe. So a couple ex-college coaches I could see them taking on Sean Miller on their staff. And Rick Pitino, I have to throw his name out there for Arizona, but I doubt he'll leave Iona for this job after one season. Hubert Davis got the UNC job, which should come to no surprise. Carolina's all about their family, keeping in the family. I think he was the coach in waiting. They just didn't want to admit it. And they just want to interview some other people to make themselves not look bad. They had a lot of options to go with some big star coaches, but they go with Hubert Davis. They better hope he's the next Juwan Howard. That's all I got to say. And if he's not Juwan Howard, then this was the wrong choice. But he was under Roy for at least the last 9 years. So he knows the system. He knows North Carolina. He's in the family. He was a former Carolina grad. So we'll see how Hubert does and whether he can have some success right away, like Juwan Howard or not. So Mark Adams gets promoted to replace Chris Beard at Texas Tech. Obviously, he knows Texas Tech, and he knows what to do. He worked under Beard in Beard's tenure. So, instead of going outside the box, they hire in-house to keep things somewhat similar. And he said that Mac McClung is considering coming back for his senior year. That would be a huge bonus for Texas Tech, and that would keep them among the Big 12 contenders in the 2021-2022 season. So that is some huge news. And one more thing in news and notes, the first big trade of the hockey trade season, the Islanders acquire Kyle Palmieri and Travis Zajac from the New Jersey Devils for a 2021 first-round pick, a 2022 fourth-round pick, and 2 players. I like this get. The Islanders, I thought, could have used some scoring. Palmieri could be in their top 6. Zajac will be in bottom 4, so they have a lot of depth now offensively, which they had, but they lost some pieces in free agency and all that. So, and plus the injury to Anders Lee as well. So, good on the Islanders for going for it, getting more depth post the Lee injury, and I think that they gave up a fair price for these 2 players. If anything, I think the Islanders could have gave up more. And New Jersey, meanwhile, I think this team goes into the tank. They're going to be Sabres bad, potentially, with this move, and maybe a couple other moves as well. So, obviously, we're going to keep an eye on the deadline. Maybe I'll have a guest on over the weekend or on Monday, or later next week to recap the deadline and see who made some good moves and who could have done better. All right, now we're going to recap last night's wild episode of The Masked Singer. I think this has been the wildest episode of the season thus far. So, Niecy Nash guest hosted. This was the Group B Finals. The Black Swan. There's a mirror in there, a mailbox, Hollywood. There were 3 10s on there, and obviously 10 times 3 is 30. There's a plane, a car. Montana, I think, was a big hint. And then this person performed How Will I Know by Whitney Houston. And I thought she did a great job. The item that the Men in Black stole was a unicorn. Does this person have ties to Tori Spelling? Maybe. My guess, as of right now for the Black Swan, is Emily Osment. She was in Hannah Montana. She played Miley's best friend, or Hannah Montana's best friend. I'm saying Miley as in Miley Cyrus. So that's where I think the Montana clue comes into play. Now, Emily Osment starred in the movie Cyberbully, which was a popular ABC family movie in the beginning of last decade. So, I think it could be Emily Osment. Jenny also said Emily Osment. Robin Thicke went with Victoria Justice or Ashley Simpson. And Ken Jeong had a nice guess of Brenda Song. Next up was the Piglet. There was a farm, a jail, a lollipop. There's a genie there. There was corn. 1 DR. Does that mean 1 doctor, 1 drive, 1 direction? And there's a blue ribbon there as well. There's a palm tree. And this person had a phenomenal performance to 7 years by Lucas Graham. The item was a dog tag necklace. And the necklace has a couple items on it as well. I think that it could be Ed Sheeran. Another one that I thought in my mind, the genie clue had me thinking Aladdin. No way it's Will Smith. And obviously Robin Williams is no longer with us. So I thought about Aladdin. Like the actors of Aladdin. Scott Wagner in the first one. And Mena Massid in the second one. But it could be one of those guys. I mean, Scott Wagner would be cool because he was on Full House. And obviously we already had a Full House person. We had Bob Saget last season. Nicole Scherzinger and Jenny McCarthy each went with Backstreet Boys. Nicole went with Kevin Richardson and Jenny went with AJ McLean. Ken Jeong said Bradley Cooper or Zayn Malik. I don't think it's either of those guys. It could be a boy bander. I'd be surprised if it was Zayn Malik or Bradley Cooper. If I thought potentially a boy bander, I wouldn't think it would be Backstreet Boys or NSYNC because we saw Joey Fatone and Nick Carter on the show, but you never know. Maybe New Kids on the Block, maybe it's Donnie or Joey or one of the Knight brothers, who knows. But my current thoughts, I had Ed Sheeran a couple weeks ago. Could be Mena Massid or could be Scott Wagner. Next up came the crab. There's a beach house, a kitchen, mac and cheese, steak, Paris. And he's saying, "Give It to Me" by Rick James. His item was a hat. My guess for this at the moment is Ernie Isley. This is obviously somebody that is an older R&B and soul singer. And this contestant was doing a lot of moves in his performance to the point where he wanted to rip his mask off. He wanted to pull a gremlin, but they made him go backstage. They didn't show who the contestant was, obviously. And then he came back out and talked to the judges and did that whole thing. So my guess for crab, Ernie Isley. Next up, chameleon. There's karate, Ninja Turtles. There's clocks and 346. 346 is a Houston zip code or area code. If I'm not mistaken, yes, it's Houston. And they hint about being a father, and this person performed Hip Hop by Dead Prez. I liked this performance by Chameleon. And guess what, guys? I have a new guess. And now I feel really good about this guess. Holy crap. Holy crap. There's a peach in there. This person who I think it is from Georgia. And I think this is ludicrous. I was getting how low can you go vibes while Chameleon performed. And my guess for Chameleon, ludicrous. And his item, by the way, was hot wings. And by the way, Crab's item was a hat. And then, last but not least, the second wild card of Group B and the third wild card overall, the Bulldog. There's a PD on his jacket. The initials PD. There's a torch, Olympics maybe. Panthers and Pit Bulls. Somebody from the Carolina Panthers. Super Bowl. Skeleton. A license plate of GT80. And then B99. And this person performed Candy Girl by New Edition. And I thought the performance was solid. And his item was, and live from New York, and it's Saturday night. So this had a lot of people thinking Saturday Night Live. Judges' guesses. Ken Jeong went with Andy Sandberg and Chris Tucker. Nicole went with Eddie Murphy, and so did Jenny as her suggestion. And she also said Chris Rock. Her throwing out Chris Rock to me was a very Ken Jeong type of guess. So this was a wild ending, guys. Niecy Nash got the pick who was going home. Then it goes into commercial. Of course, everybody's saying, oh, she's going to pick the Crab because Crab wanted to go home. Then she picks the Bulldog, who was the wild card, and everybody's stunned. Bulldog did a good job. She didn't even make the judges guess who this was. Part of me wonders if she knew who this was, or the producers told her, don't have the judges guess. Have them take the mask off immediately. So, Bulldog unmasked ASAP. And who is it? The host of the show, Nick Cannon. Who would have thought? Wow. So, fun little surprise. Great to see Nick Cannon back. He'll be back hosting the show next week. This was his way of saying, I'm back. The judges loved it. They were surprised. And I don't know what was a bigger surprise, this or Kermit the Frog. I'd still say Kermit the Frog because Nick Cannon obviously had his COVID absence, and there wasn't a peep about his return. And it was very suspicious of how the Masked Singer made Bulldog unmask ASAP. And it was obviously Nick. I'm sure his kids were very happy to see him on the show, because I'm sure they watched the show. I know one, he has a toddler, and then he has, I believe, twin 10-year-olds with Mariah Carey. So I'm sure that the twins were happy to see him on the show. And the funny thing is that Nicole Scherzinger, in the first episode of the season, or is it the second episode of the season, threw out Nick Cannon as a guest for the Chameleon. So, that's wild. So, Nicole thought it was Nick Cannon. I thought she was stupid. But hey, maybe she wasn't stupid for thinking that Nick could have been on the show. So, props to Nicole for thinking that Nick Cannon was on The Masked Singer, but she had obviously the wrong contestant. We don't know who Chameleon is yet. I really, really think it's ludicrous because I looked and he is from Georgia. I am convinced it's ludicrous. And I'd be really, really happy if I was right, because that would be a tremendous get for the Masked franchise. And I think Nick Cannon would love it. So the next week is the Group A final and the return of Nick Cannon. And I think Niecy Nash did a great job filling in for Nick as the guest co-host, or the guest host, as she really was into it. And she was very surprised to see Kermit the Frog. I think Nick would have lost his mind over Kermit the Frog, personally. So, yeah, next week is Group A finals and the return of Nick Cannon as the host after he was a contestant on the show that had to be masked ASAP. All right, best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. Won yesterday with the over in the Coyotes-Kings game. This is a hard one to pick for today. There are some NBA ones I liked. And the Bulls line went up. The Suns line went up. I don't want to take the Kings because I just don't trust the Kings enough, even though Detroit doesn't have Jeremy Grant. Because of the absences of Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry, I'm going to go lay it with the Bulls, -4 against the Raptors as my best bet of the day. So, tomorrow's show, so the Big Friday show, we'll recap NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball. Look ahead to tomorrow and the weekend's games. Leaderboard for the Masters, NHL Power Rankings. American Idol will preview the next episode and talk about who I think will be in the top 16. And my best bet, obviously, as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everybody.